Hey there. How are you guys? Let me just see if I can get things straightened out. My goodness, I'm crooked. Is that in? Let me see. I gotta wait for this to catch up. Hi, Susan. How are you? I don't know what happens to my camera mount here, but it just gets messed up every time I go to try to use it. Okay, so let me see. Let me see if I got that any straighter. And then I want to share it to my Donna's Creative Space private group. And let's see if that works. I think I'm all set. It's a little crooked still. Not too bad, but just a little crooked. Am I making you dizzy, guys? Let's see. Let's see how that is. Oh my goodness. I am so happy it is Friday. I don't know about you guys, but it is my Friday off. Most of you know I have every other Friday off. And it was a long time coming today. It just seemed like it was taking forever to get here. But I am very happy it's here. So today I've got a couple cards to show you. And so if you're watching live on my Facebook channel, go ahead and say hello. And if you are watching on YouTube, you can comment. I'll check back. But I have I'm going to be making a couple cards. This is one I'm going to make for you, and I'll show you how I made it. And I've got two others to make, but I have a little bit of business to share with you before I go any further. So the reason I chose all squared up is because it is one of the, hopefully you know that we have a sale going on for the month of March. It is called Savings in Bloom. Savings are in Bloom. I'm not sure I can get it all in the image area, but this is a flyer that I've sent out on in my newsletter that you can download the PDF. If you would like, you could just go online and look under sales and specials, and you'll see Savings Are in Bloom, and you can go right there. There are two things. I checked this morning. There are two. So this sale is on bundles. Select bundles and the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. But before I go any further, I'll tell you the two bundles that I noticed this morning are currently unavailable. I don't know if they'll be available again before the end of the month. Probably not, but I'm not really sure. So the Beauty of Friendship bundle is unavailable right now, and the Wild Cats bundle is unavailable right now. But the All Squared Away bundle is available, and I decided to use that today. So I decided I'm going to pick one off of here to play with because I got this a couple weeks back. I did not get it on sale, unfortunately. I got it before the sale, but that's okay. I get my discount as a demonstrator. But also for the sale is the mini cut and emboss machine, and that's this little guy. And it's probably going to look really big to you, but it's not. It's like a little purse. Here's my hand. I have small hands too. So I don't know if you can get the gist of it. I just took too long to mess with my camera, but my hands are fairly small. Look at, here's the size of a stamp set, right? It fits right on the stamp. Right on the case. So it's not even, the body of it's not even bigger than the stamp case, I guess, aside from the handle that comes off the edge, right? And what else can I tell you? $60, but it's on sale for the month of March, $40. And it comes with all the plates that you need. It comes with, well, of course it comes with instructions, but it comes with your number 1 plate. Let me see if I can. It comes with your number 1 plate. It comes with 2 cutting plates. These are your number 2 plates. Then it comes with a number 3, which is for embossing folders. And then it comes with, oh, it looks like my screen is a little blurry. Is it blurry to you guys? And then it comes with a number 4. And I went and wrote on mine 3D because you're supposed to use this with the 3D embossing folders. Oh, it looks like it just cleared up. That's good. Okay, so you get 5 plates, base, 2 clear, and 3 and number 3 and number 4. So they're all numbered. It tells you what you need for your plates, what plates you need for whatever you're trying to do. So everything's written on there. And like I just ordered a couple more of these clear plates because I tend to use them. I just took away one, and it's pretty well used. So I need to. I've got these in my cart to buy a couple more. All right, so that is that. I am going to leave out. We're going to use it today, so I'm going to leave out the clear plates and the base plate for the project we're working on today, but I'm going to move it out of the side. But I love it because it's so light. I can lift it up with my pinky. It's great. It can stay right here on my desktop, and it looks awful big because I'm zoomed in. But let me see if I can zoom out. Let me see. I'm going to mess up my camera, but here, I'm zoomed out. Right? Now maybe you can see it better. It's not that big. It's really kind of cute. It's like a little purse, but I can leave it right on my desktop. It doesn't take up a lot of room. All right, so I'm going to zoom back down. I've probably messed up my screen now. So that's that sale I wanted to talk about. So I can put that aside. I wanted to get everything out of the way. Let's see. I'm a little crooked again. Come on. Are you guys there? I think I touched a button, but I got you back. Sorry about that. Oh my goodness. I panicked. I thought maybe I shut the Facebook Live off. I was just trying to get, centered again. I know when I go and do things to my camera here, I mess up. All right, so let's see. So I told you that I'm fine. Oh, good. Thank you, Susan. All right, one more thing. I think one more thing. Yeah, one more piece of business is my current card class to go. Today is, what is today? The 11th, I think? So there's 3 or 4, let's see, this ends on the 15th. I have my host code up here. It's a little bigger for you to see. And this went out in one of my newsletters. So if you're not on my newsletter, actually I've been putting it at the bottom of most of my newsletters for the past week or so. If you're not on my newsletter, you can go to donnascreativespace.com. And in the sidebar to the right, there's a button that you can click on to get on my newsletter, because I do a card class to go kit that you can do at home. You get the written instructions printed. You get a path to a video. I do the video, and so you can watch it at your leisure, make the cards whenever you want to. And it's 4 cards, 2 of each. You get these supplies to make 2 of each. It comes like this. It comes in a plastic bag with your instructions and everything. But I just wanted to show you. These are the cards. You can see them right there, but in person is much better. So there's the first one. This is using the, oh my goodness, I should have pulled it out. This is using the Paradise Palms stamp set. You don't need the dies, but it does have a set of dies called Palms dies that go with it. But you don't need it because I've done I mostly use just stamping. So that's the first one. Here's another one. I've done all the punching, all the die cutting for you. Punching, die cutting, and it's pre-cut cardstock. I give you everything. And this is actually how it comes. Like here's this first one. Let me show you. This one here. So you are going to get 2 of everything. Let me just show you. I've even tied your bows. Look at that. You've got all the little pieces. You've got 2 of these really cool paper lattice. You've got everything you need to supply your own stamp set, ink, and adhesive, of course. But everything else comes in here. You get the envelopes. So 2 of everything. So that's the first one. The second one comes with all the pieces. This one here. See? More bows tied and the doilies. Everything's punched and cut for you. You just have to sit down with your ink adhesive. And here's the last one. More bows and some twine to go across your cards. All right, so that's that's that. So that's my card class to go. You have until through March 15th to purchase from my online store, donnasingleton.stampinup.net. All you have to do is spend $35 or more on product. So that's before tax and shipping. And you will get these card kits to go. And you can do this class at your leisure. It will ship out probably by the 20th. I need a few days after the 15th to count up all the orders and make sure I got everybody. But make sure you use that host code. And you don't have to buy this if you already have it. Just spend the $35 and you'll still get the card class to go. If you spend $50, you are going to get a pack of the holiday rhinestones, which I used for most of the cards. Okay, business is out of the way. All right, now this is where this card started. Hi, Kathleen, how are you? I am casing. I decided to case a card from the catalog. So they used fresh freesia, but I decided to use polished pink. And this is one of the in colors, and this is a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 card. And I used Thick Whisper White for the base, so I'm going to show you how I made this. And then I kind of played around with some of their ideas, but I went rogue, of course. And we're just going to create a couple cards. I have the majority of the cards made, a lot of the pieces cut already, but I'm going to do some of the stamping and some of the cutting in front of you. Actually, yes, some of the stamping, yes, and punching, but I tried to get a lot done ahead of time. That way you don't have to watch too much. All right, let's do the first one. We're going to make this one. I'm going to redo this one, and let me get everything out. So I am using my Stamparatus for this one. I think I may have to go, I think I might zoom out a little bit because it's kind of tight. What do you think? Do you think it's close enough or too close, too far? What do you guys think? All right, let me get everything out of my little bin here. And I don't have to cut anything for this, so I'll put my mats away. All right. So let me show you how I made this card. All right. Hi, Kathleen. Let's see, Kathleen, I'm doing got the go-ahead Wednesday to drive. Oh, good for you. You've been homebound since Halloween. Oh, my goodness. Well, I'm glad you got the okay to drive. That's always good. You feel like so stuck in when you can't drive. All right. So I'm using my Stamparatus for this one. If you don't know what a Stamparatus is, it is a stamp positioning tool, and it comes with, hang on, I'm grabbing. It comes with 2 plates, right? Oops, as I throw one of them. This plate here, I'm not using 2, but it has 2, so you could actually stamp. Like I've done classes where I've had a stamp on this side and this side going the opposite way, so that during the class somebody stamps this color, then they take this, they flip it over, they ink up the stamp, and they stamp the next one. It's really cool. But for today we're just using one plastic plate, and it comes with 2 magnets, and I've got 1 out. Now I've got a piece of paper in here. You can buy this paper that fits perfectly in the Stamparatus, but I just put that in there just so that I don't. You're coming up in April. Oh, good. I hope we can get together when you come up, Kathleen. So let me move some stuff out of the way. One of the great things about the height of this is that it works perfectly if you put a stamp set behind it, right? It's the perfect height so that it's not tipping down when you try to ink it up. Now I took these 4, but I should really show you this. So these are the 4 stamps. They come separate. All right. Now I've mounted them to my plate already. And what I did was I just jammed them up against each other on this clear block, on the clear plate, and tried to get them as close as possible. And this is a great stamp set, plus the dies are great. I mean, it's really cute. I had fun. I've been playing with it all morning, and I like the sayings. You are so worth celebrating. The best thing about today is you. Happiest of birthdays to you. And then good things grow like our friendship. So you can put that on the outside, this on the inside. You know, it's really, really cute. It's simple and cute. And these are the dies that go with it. I've already mounted them on a magnetic sheet. So it comes with these 4 square dies that are really cool. And then 5 of these flower shapes. This is a little cluster of blossoms. So we'll use that today too. But I'm going to put this back here so that I can ink up. Now what I've done is they are nice and tight because I want it to fit on a 4-inch square. All right, let me see if I can get this in the image area. I think maybe I should, oh, I hate the idea of, oh, I guess I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna lift my camera up because I want more, you to be able to see more. All right, let's see how that is. It might be a little further away, but I can zoom in. But I'll leave it that height, and I'll see how crooked I am once we get there. All right, so, okay. Now, I'm taking a piece. This is a normal size that I use for the inside of regular cards. Like, well, I should say regular cards. Colored cards, like normal, the A-size cards, which are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This is 4 by 5 1/4. Now, I want a 4-inch square, but I don't want to cut it yet because I want to be able to cut this afterward because I want the magnet to hold it in place. So I'm lining it up on this grid pattern that's on the bottom of the base of the Stamparatus. Let me see. I'm still not all the way in the image area. Let me go a little higher. See how that is. I don't want to go too high because then it'll be so far away. How's that? Hang on, I'm gonna see if I can get up a little higher. All right, now maybe that's good. Okay, so I wanted you to be able to see the 4 stamps, but also see down here. So I think that's as close as what we're gonna get right now. And I know there's a glare over here on the plate, but we really can't help something like that with these. I need lights to light up the area for you guys. Okay, so I positioned these here nice and tight so that it would print out on a 4-inch area. And, you know, it took me a couple times to kind of get it straight, but once I got it straight, then I figured I wanted it centered kind of even. I lined it up so that I have like a barely, like an 1/8 inch all the way on these 3 sides, and then I'm going to cut it off. All right, so I have it lined up so it's going to fall perfectly. And as long as if the paper moves, I just put it right back to where it was. But this magnet's really hot, strong, so I shouldn't have to worry about that. All right, and I'm going to take my polished pink ink. You could turn it sideways. I could, but I don't know. I like having my flap at the top, though. I know I could, but I'm gonna leave it like this, Kathleen. I know I'm very anal. I like having my flap at the top because then it's out of the way. So I'm gonna ink up. I think you guys can see just about everything right now, but I could put it to the side. Kathleen's right. She's saying just turn the whole thing to the side, but I tend to like, I don't know. I like it out of the way. So that's inked up. I've got my paper in place, and now I'm gonna close this. All right. Now, you want to make sure this is pressed really strong. And I had a sweatshirt on earlier today, so I was just using my sleeve to press it. But I'm going to, let's see, something smooth. This is one of our, I don't think we sell this anymore. This is one of our cleaning cloths, but nice and smooth. They do have, I've seen some people using like the top of a Yankee candle. They put that felt on the bottom of it. So I'm just going to make sure I press down really good. All right, and now I'm going to lift it up and see. Now now see what happened over here? There's a little, like the ink's still on the plate there. I do have a little smudge thing there. And then I'm going to have to get that out of let me get a piece of scrap. Because that is, I can kind of see it right on my stamp. So I'm going to move that away. I'm going to ink this up again. Well, actually, I'm going to just ink that one spot just for a second, and then I'm going to close this again because it's still in the same spot, and I'm going to try to press in those spots, right? Okay, so that looks better, but I still want it a little darker. So see how nicely it, and this is why I'm using the Stamparatus. First of all, you would have to use your big block. I think it's an F is the biggest one. And I just thought that the Stamparatus is good because whenever you have stamps that have a lot of solid color in the background, you do get kind of like the white spots in it if it doesn't ink up good. So I'm inking it a couple times. You just want to make sure that you don't have like lines in your on your stamp from the edge of the stamp pad. All right, I think that looks good, although I see a line in that one. So, all right, so that's all inked up. It's in the same position. So I'm going to do this again. I rub this, rub, 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 rub. Just like that. Nice. And I could see that I didn't press hard enough right in that corner. So I'm just going to press there. It's just a little process, but having that magnet holding that piece of paper in place is perfect. All right, and look at how nice and solid that is. Doesn't that come out great? Now, once you're done with that, I do want to show you something else. Now, you know I always use my, off to the side here, I have, hang on, my Stampin' scrubber, where you wet one side, and then you clean your stamp, and then you dry it on the other side. Well, for this, I use my chamois, and I've cut up a chamois. I keep it in a case. A whole one actually fits in this. This is just a stamp case you can buy. I think you get four together, but I just keep these wet. They end up drying, but you just wet them again, and they get nice and soft and pliable. They dry like hard as a rock, but then you just wipe them up, and I use them. They stain, but that's okay. As long as they work, you can rinse them out in the sink before you put them back. Squeeze them, get as much air. I like to leave the case open to dry, but see that? Nice and clean. So I'm going to take this off. See how strong that magnet is? And it comes with 2 magnets, and they're so strong. Don't let them touch each other. They have little spots on the back of the case. This case has a little spot in the back for you to, I'll put this back in here, to store your magnets. I'll show you. Right in the back here. Just like that. And the other one goes here. Mine is over on I have it on my other machine. All right, so that's the Stamparatus. It's great to have. If you don't have one, it's a great tool. All right, so I have my piece. Now I want to cut this exactly 4 inches. So let me grab my trimmer out. It's been buried. I can move that stamp out of the way. And I'm going to cut this 4 inches. Now you could go ahead and try to do all this by hand, you know, one at a time and try to line them up. But it just, it's so much easier to get it done this way. Now if you do it my way, don't throw away this piece of paper because we do need a scrap. All right, so we have that done. Now I'm going to take the sentiment, and on this scrap here, that's what I'm going to stamp it on. I'm going to ink up and stamp on this scrap. Okay, that's all the ink I'm going to use for that. And then I am using the Label Me Fancy Punch for this one. This is, remember, I'm copying, I'll show you again, I'm casing. When we say casing the catalog, Stampin' Up! Uses the acronym CASE, which stands for Copy and Share Everything. They like us to all copy cards we see in the catalog or online, and share them with everybody. So that's what they call casing the catalog, C-A-S-E, case. Copy and share. All right, so I have gone ahead and done this on that scrap piece, and I'm just going to punch this out. Let me got to turn it towards myself for a sec and pop that out. All right, so we have all the stamping done. Now I am going to pull in, got a little bit of ink on the side of my stamp, so I will just use my stamp pad on the side of my stamp pad. I'll use my chamois to clean it off, and get all the pink off my fingertips before I put it back in here. I'll leave that open so it dries. Oh, I got ink on my card. Well, that's okay. I think it's going to cover that. Let me see. Yes, perfect. Okay, let me make sure. I think I'm wearing black sweatpants. I just wiped my hands on my pants. Okay, let me get my bone folder out and we'll crease this. All right, I am going to put this down flat because I'm going to pop up my sentiment. So let me get some seal, Stampin' seal, and put this around the edge. It doesn't matter which way your design goes, but I do like these swirly things to be, I don't like, well, I guess they're okay going that way, but I like them going kind of like this way. So I'm going to put those down and just center that. And now, so this is a 4 1/4 inch card. It does fit in our envelopes. It'll be a little bit, you know, a little bit on each side, but that's fine. It still fits in here. Hey Sharon, how are you? Nice to see you here. I don't always see you watching. Are you playing hooky today? I'm just going to get a little bit of adhesive off with my adhesive remover. Okay, now we're almost done. This was such a quick and easy card. So I'm going to put this up on dimensionals. And just like that. Take this off. Now I had colored a, I made a bow and I colored it with my Granny Apple Green. And this goes right in the center. Just like that. Isn't that a quick way of making a card? So in the catalog, I don't know if you can see the little flowers. Those are called loose flowers. Loose flower flourishes. I only happen to have the polished pink left. It had some, oh, I forget what the yellow was called, either So Saffron maybe, and these polished pink ones. And then I only have one fresh freesia left. So that's why I didn't do the card in fresh freesia, because I knew I only had one. So I am going to use 3 of those. So see, it's very close to that, only I used the polished pink instead. And now those little flowers, oh, and I think I lost I had a ribbon, I had a bow right there. I'm going to put these flowers on with some glue dots. And they put a bunch more than 3, but I'm going to put 1. I'm going to put 3. I'm going to put 1 there. I'm going to hang these over the kind of the white margins so that the eye picks them up more, because they're the same color as the ink. If I had enough of like the yellow ones would have been nice on this. The purple didn't look so good, and I only had 1 of them. So I like doing things in 3. So I'm going to put this one maybe over here. So this way they kind of hang off the edge of the white, and then they excuse me, they'll show up a little better. Now, I put on this one, I had colored, oops, oh my goodness. I had colored my bow using my Granny Apple Green Stampin' Blend marker. This is the alcohol marker, so it's great for coloring. But the problem is that somehow, I don't know what happened with this one, my point got kind of chewed up. Maybe I colored too much, so I have to order another one of these. So I pulled out my light Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to try to color it and see if I have enough ink in this to color. So I'm just going to take out a couple sheets of Post-it note to put under here. And you just can color this. You could color the string when it's on your, like just before you tie it, right? Sometimes it's easier to tie it, to just take your string like this. I'll show you. To take your string and just kind of, it's probably how I ruined my other marker. I probably made too many of these. Maybe we'll do it this way since I can show you. It's a little faster than watching me color a bow, right? Just means I have to let it dry before it dries pretty fast. These alcohol markers dry pretty fast on paper, But when you do it on this white twine, now this is a big fat roll of twine, but you can still buy the white twine in this pack. This is called the Baker's Twine Essential Pack. This just happened to be ones we used to sell, so I have a bunch of these, so I'm using up this. But it comes with the white, very vanilla. I think that's gray granite and crumb cake, and then it comes with a spool of black, which I used up all the black. So that's why that one doesn't have black. So I think that is colored enough. So I'm going to let that dry for 2 seconds. And then I'll make a bow. I hope I colored enough for myself. Because I could keep coloring that one, but I'll show you. It was easier to run it through like that. All right, so, and this one is a little bit darker anyway, so I think that I'm going to like the lighter one. Now, I thought this needed a little bit of bling, so I decided to add some rhinestones to the center. Can you see that? How I added the rhinestones to the center? Let me hold it up, because I kind of zoomed out now, but see the rhinestones? It looks dark, but maybe if I turn it like this, you'll see them sparkle with the light hitting it. All right, so I used some multi-purpose glue, and I put a little dot, and this is kind of like a little tricky to get these rhinestones in here, because they want to stick to whatever you're putting them down with. So what I did was I took my Take Your Pick tool, which has the little bit of putty on the end, and I picked them up, but sometimes they don't want to get off the putty. Like, see that? So I got to put my finger there and then go back in and push it down. The glue will dry clear. I think I have better luck when I use the pointed end and just barely pick it up. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, that's better. And then get it right in the center. Whoops. And you'll see, that's not gonna, I just got finished saying I want to use the pointed end. Oh, see, it stuck to my finger. There we go. All right, so those will dry. I actually put a little bit too much glue, but it will dry clear. All right, so now let's see, is this dry? Pretty much. So I'm going to tie a bow. Yeah, I have plenty of ribbon. I mean, not plenty. I thought maybe I left myself too little. But look at, I have plenty. And it's a little stiffer when you use your alcohol markers. This is a little still damp. I'm probably getting my fingers all green. But now I have my bow. But you know what? I bet you my glue dot won't stick to it because it's damp. So we'll have to wait a second for that. Let me wash off my stamp. Like I said, I have my scrubber off to the side, and I just spray the wet side with Stampin' Mist and scrub the, here, I'll pull it out here. I sprayed this side and I scrub it. Gets all into the nooks and crannies of my stamp. Then I do it on the dry side. And look, it's nice and clear. And I can just put it away. All right, I'm not going to put it away now though. All right. So this card is almost done. We're just going to put a glue dot, and I'm going to take a glue dot and twine. I got to use my other scissors. I don't want to use, you guys know me, I have 2 pairs of these paper snips, because one I use for ribbon, right? These are my ribbon ones, and these are my everything else ones. So I'm going to take a glue dot, and I'm going to cut it in half, and usually half of it sticks to the, oops, of course when I say that it doesn't happen, so I want just a half a glue dot. Usually half of it ends up sticking on my scissors, and I just use whatever comes off. Because twine is so small, so narrow, so I'm going to stick it on the back of my bow. And then I'm just going to put, oh, I like the light, you know what? I like the lighter green better. What do you think? So my rhinestones are just about dry. So you can still see a little bit of white. So what do you think? You like the darker or the lighter bow? I think I like the lighter bow. So I'm glad that my dark one. No? Sharon, what are you saying no to? You don't like it? Or you're not playing hooky from work? Oh, you have at least 7 pairs of snips? Yes, you do. I'm sure you do. They are wonderful little scissors. They stay nice and sharp. All right, so here's the first one I made earlier with the darker bow. I think I like the lighter bow. What do you guys think? Taking a poll. All right, so that's the first card. And the next one shouldn't be that long because I actually did a lot of it ahead of time. And I'm just going to cut something for you so you can see. So let me get everything out. You like the lighter one too? I do too. I'm glad. I think that was an omen. Not an omen, but I don't know what you would call it. But I think the lighter one is much better. So you know you can color. And Susan, you just bought a bunch of these markers. You can color your twine, you can color ribbon, you can color, besides, you know, coloring on paper with the alcohol markers, you can color rhinestones. All right, so this next card, I started to go in this direction, kind of like one of these, but they stamped those squares in the background, and I didn't want to take mine off my Stamparatus because they were all set up to show you that first card and how to stamp all of them. So I decided to try something different. I pulled out some polished pink card base, right? And I decided to go grab some, do you remember this paper? We still have it. Let me pull some out. I knew that these flowers on this stamp set, where'd the stamp set go? Oh no, not these. The flowers on the die that coordinates with the stamp set reminded me of the In Symmetry paper. Do you remember this paper? So I started looking at this paper and I thought this goes great because I'm kind of in a pink mood. So I said this goes great with that pink. It pulls out this little pink, this little flower, right? So what I did was I decided to cut a bunch of these with the out of white, right? And I have to do one more because what I did was I cut them out with the white and I backed them with this paper. So I'm going to show you what I did, and let's see, I want to make sure I'm taking the right one. This is the one I didn't do. So I'm going to show you how I did this. Right, and I have a piece of scrap paper. Now this mini cut and emboss is it can take up to 3.5 inches wide. So I cut this paper, I forget what I cut this. Let me look. It's about 3 inches. So I could have gone a little bit wider if I wanted. It's a little bit bigger than 3 inches, I think. So I'm going to cut this. So I put my number 1 plate, right? Then one of my number 2s. And let's see, I like to have one. This one has more mark on it. That's the one I put down first. Oops. Put your paper. So 1, 2, then your white paper. And I'm just going to go off to the edge here because I don't want to waste all this paper. And then another number 2. All right, so that's your sandwich for cutting. All right. I shouldn't try to do this. I should have it on the other side because... All right, so that's sandwiched in there. So now I am going to... Yeah, why was I doing that backwards? Let's see. So here's my sandwich, right? 1, 2, paper, die, and then the last paper. I'm going to feed it in. I hope you can see this now. I think you can, right? Let me get this in. Oh, what's sticking on the other side? Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. All right. Here we go. Sometimes it doesn't catch right away. You have to make sure the edges on the side here, on the front that are going in, are nice and lined up. Okay. This is why I like it. So it's so little and it's so cute. Now look at that. And I just like toss the machine to my side. All right, so we have that done. And get rid of all the little scraps. All right. And I'm going to put this, before I forget, right back on my magnetic plate so I don't lose it. All right, so let me show you how I did this. Get rid of all this. Close up. I don't think I have to use this again. I think I did all the cutting ahead of time. I just didn't want to have to, I know that videos can take a long time. I didn't want to take too long. All right, so I cut. So these pieces here, let me put my silicone mat down so it's a little darker so you can see. These pieces are just under 7/8 to 1 7/8 of an inch. All right, they actually measured just about 7/8, 1 7/8. So I cut a square that is just under 1 7/8. If I line up one side, you'll see how it's just off a hair. So I cut them just under 1 7/8 inch, like almost like a tick mark, like almost like a 1/16 of an inch. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that down, and I'm working on a silicone mat with my glue, because the silicone mat, the glue can dry on here, and then you can just rub it off. If you don't have a silicone mat, they're great to have. They're not expensive, but they are well worth it. It helps when you don't want things sliding around. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue, very little. Little goes a long way, just around the edge. And you don't want it to seep out. So if you get a blob of glue, use the tip of the container here to spread it around. All right, let me turn this. I just don't want to get all gunky. I like to try to keep my hands as clean as possible. Gunky is a technical term. Uh-oh, Misty's up. I hear her. She was napping. She naps most of the day. But I knew the minute I go live, she's gonna wake up. All right, so then I can just put this down, and I just go a hair over the edge, just like that. And I don't care if the glue squeezes out onto the mat. Doesn't matter. So I'm just going to press that down, just like that. Now in the magazine, in the catalog, I should say, in the catalog, they put them. Oh, I'm dropping everything. My goodness. Yeesh. You should see what it looks like in my craft room. So this is the card I was looking at, but like I said, I didn't want to take my colored, I have those stamps set on my Stamparatus, so I didn't want to do that, but that's very pretty using a different colored stamp behind each. So you could stamp them and then cut those out at 1 7/8, just shy of 1 7/8. So a scant. That's what we say in quilting. Isn't that what we say? Sharon, are you still here? Is that the word I'm thinking? Scant? I don't know. But anyway, so see that? So now when I turn it over, you can see a little bit of white around the edge. So that one's done. So now I'm going to put this. Now I put these up. They put theirs like made all four together, right? I decided to put it off center a little. And I did have a sentiment somewhere. I already stamped the sentiment. Yes, I already stamped the sentiment. It says you are so worth celebrating, right? I stamped that with Night of Navy ink. Oh, this is what I was looking for. I keep all my little ends when I get to the end of these dimensionals. You don't want to throw these away. Some people, when they're done with the pieces that come out, the little, I don't know what they're called, not octagon. That's 8. All right, so I digress. Let's get back to this. And I need my regular scissors. So I like using these ends. I just cut it so it's a long strip. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take it right off. And I'm going to go around the edge of these. I don't want these to warp, because they are not warp, but I don't want them to have any of the corners stuck up. I want them to be nice and even, so I'm going right around the edge. Uh-oh, here she is. Hi, Misty. Hear her? Is she? You are a big mouth. I'll get some. Oh, Misty. She's crazy. My crazy cat. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit more going this way. I hear you. And there, that one. I did save some treats for her just to keep her. You want a treat? Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec, people. She will bother me if I don't give her a couple of treats. She might still bother me. Yeah. You don't want it? Oh my goodness. Here. All right, hopefully that'll keep her busy. So I put that all the way around the edge, It's kind of like, usually we don't have to put this many on there, but because this is like a framed little thing, I wanted it to make sure it was secure going all the way around. And then I put my first 2 squares in the corners. So I tried to do it evenly spaced here and here. And then I put about, you know, a little bit of spacing in between these two. Same space. I tried, you know, it's not exact. So I'm going to do the same thing, just like that. I just thought that the other one was square. I wanted this one to look a little different. Right? And then I already stamped this. You are so worth celebrating. Now you could put this here. We could put it up here. But, oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to cut out some flowers. I was going to cut out some, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe I'll just put this on and leave it because I do want to, let's see what time. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to put this going here, but I do want to make it into a banner end. So I'm going to trim this down. I like to start with 4 inches because then it kind of, you can decide whether you want to banner the edge at any time. All right, so now I cut that banner, and I'm going to put adhesive behind this part and a dimensional behind that part. So let me grab a dimensional. Goes behind the banner part, and then I'm going to put some adhesive right here. Just like this. Let's see. I think I want it to go into there. Yeah, just like that. No, I don't. I don't know where I want it. Oh, I hate to cover up that flower. I think I'll move it down a little. Oh, what if I put it there? Well, that's not a bad spot. Nah, I want it higher. Sorry, I'm so indecisive. I guess right there. I want a little bit of that color poking out. All right, so that's done. So what could we, oh, we could just decorate with, maybe I'll just put, oh, let me get rid of all these pieces there sticking to my arm and going everywhere. All right, so these are the in color jewels, the 2021-2023. So I am going to, I think I will put, I wonder if these these are these evergreen ones. These might look good on it because it pulls out the color from there. I think that's what I'll do. So I'll put, I used up all the big ones. Hang on, let me see if I have another pack of these. I thought I had another pack. Oh, I do. I do. I think I want to put a bigger one up here. Right? And then I'll put this little one back. And then maybe a big one and a little one down here. And that kind of, oops. See, I should use my take a pick tool. I think that's good. And that kind of takes up, I hate having the blank area, but isn't that cute? Now, of course, that was really quick because I had these 3 done, but you saw me cut this. The first one would be great in Guy colors. This one, I think that you're talking about this one. Yeah, this one would be, you could do that in Guy colors, not put flowers on it. Would definitely be great for a guy. That's a good idea. I'm keeping mine on my Stamparatus for a little while, and I'm going to try playing around with different colors. But that's a good idea, Sharon. All right, so that's card number 2. So I'm going to put this, let me clean this. And so I didn't stamp for you because I had stamped it ahead of time. And let's move that aside. Goodness, look how far along we're going. This is great. All right, that's because I got a lot of stuff done ahead of time. Okay, so we did that one already. All right, so we have that card. Well, actually, we made this one. Now we made that one. Oh, because they're not in the imagery, are they? There. Okay. Now, let me move this until I need it. Are you like me? I like to have a clean area when I move to the next card. All right, so this next one is very similar. What I did was I cut these out of, I love these. These are so much fun. Exactly right, Sharon. I agree. I'll have to try with the masculine colors. I cut these out of the Evening Evergreen, which is one of the prettiest colors. I like it so much. And I am going to, I got the Happiest of Birthdays to You. And I've got some evergreen ink. And let's see. Oh, I have some scrap. I have this all in my head. I've kind of started. I'm going to use another polished pink card base. All right. And I got some punches because I want to cut out a circle. I might make another bow. In fact, I should do that. I should do that right now, just in case. Let's see. This is dark polished pink. And I know last time I did quite a bit of, I didn't need that much string, so let me see if I can do a little less. So I'm gonna put this down and pull the string. Oops. Pay attention, Donna. Pull it through. Just like that. I probably shouldn't have those cards. Let me move those cards. I can pull them back out when we're done. I just shouldn't have them. When I'm doing this, the string could flicker on them, and then, all right. All right, I think that's good. All right, and we'll let that sit and dry. And so that was the polished pink. See, everything with Stampin' Up! Matches. I love it. We have the polished pink cardstock, the polished pink markers. We have the polished pink in the embellishments. These are polished pink. It's awesome. So I took, okay, this is what I wanted to show you. I took, do you remember this paper? This paper was from, this was the Expressions in Ink paper. So I took a piece, right? And when I put four of these next to each other. I put two together and measured. And look what I did. So I measured two together and it came out to 3 3/4. So I cut a piece of this paper 3 3/4, just shy of 3 3/4, and that works perfectly. And I love it because it pulled out a little bit of green, but it has that bright bright pink in there, and it has the gold shimmer to it. And this was one of the easiest things. So you saw how easy it was to cut these, right, with the little mini guy. So let's see. This is what I did. Where did I put it? All right, I'm going to bring this back, and I'm going to bring back my silicone mat. I'm going to take this. This is going to go down here. All I did was I glued the first one right up to the very edge, and then butted that one up against, and then butted the next one, and now I'll show you I'm going to butt this one. So I just use a tiny bit of glue. You can probably see it better now that I'm doing it on a darker color, right? Let me hold it. Whoops. I'll hold it like this until I get to that corner. Just a tiny bit. I'm not even really squeezing, barely. When it doesn't seem like anything's coming out, and I get a little tiny, gentle squeeze. Just like that, all right? And then, whoop, I'm going to turn this way, and I'm just going to butt it right up against these two, the top one and the one to the side, just like that. Look at that, isn't that pretty? Isn't that, I love it, I love it, I love it. Isn't that pretty? I just think it came out so nice, and you can see, right, this is the back. So see how I have a hair showing? So my base was, like I said, just under 3 3/4. All right, because they measured 3 3/4 put together, but I didn't want the designer paper to show out the back. But isn't that pretty? Look at that. Can you see the foil on it? The foiled leaves on the designer paper? All right, so let me move that. So this is what, look at, oh, look how bright, isn't that pretty? I think I want this up on dimensionals. What do you think? Should I put, oh, I was thinking of putting a bow. What was I going to do for the sentiment on this one? Oh, I was going to do, all right, let's do this. I was going to do the sentiment. I was going to write it, stamp it, I should say, in the evergreen, and I'm going to put it on white, punch it out. And if you don't have these punches, you, oh, looks like there's a hair on mine. Clean it. Try that again over here. Oh, much better. All right, and I will punch this out. So I'm using punches. I have a 1 3/8 and I have a 1 1/2. If you don't have the circle punches, you can use the layering circle dies or whatever you happen to have. So this, I'm going to punch that out, right? And that was 1 3/8. We don't sell these anymore, but I hung on to all mine. And then this is 1 1/2. So I'm going to punch a 1 1/2 inch out of the polished pink. All right. So I'm going to put this on the pink circle. Let's see, what time is it? It's almost 1 o'clock. Now this only, because there's these punches are only 1/8 of an inch apart, there's only like a 1/16. It's a very narrow border around this, which I happen to like. A lot of times I use that. I think, in fact, I'll show you, I used it, the same punch on this card in my card class to go. See, I cut the white 1 3/8 and the blue Misty Moonlight, I should say, the 1 1/2. But I punched that for you. You don't have to have those for the class. Okay, so let's decide what we're going to do here. So I was thinking that this, it could go right in the center. Oh, that kind of is pretty. And I was just going to put a little bow down the bottom. So let's see. Let me cut this off. Let me tie a little bow. Teeny little bow. Sometimes with twine it twists, so you kind of have to be a little bit careful when you pull your loops through to kind of keep them. I might have to touch up this ribbon because it's like a little bit of, beep. A little bit of, yeah, I'm going to touch it up with the ink. But see, so I have the bow, but I am going to touch it up a little because there's a little bit of white spots showing. So I'll just take out my little bit of Post-it note and kind of, I'm going to hold it down with this, but I want to dab it around and make sure I get that color where it looks kind of white in spots. Because sometimes it's just hard when you're doing it to, like I just pulled it through, but this way I can get any spots that look like they need to be colored a little bit, and then we'll let that sit. Oops. It matched the paper so well I didn't know where the cap went. Alright, so I think I'm going to put this up on dimensionals. And then the bow will dry. We'll leave that there. And maybe I'll put this, I hate to cover any of the flowers if I put it over here. Well, I could put it, no, I think I like it right in the center. What do you guys think? I think I'm going to put the dimensionals on while I wait to see. Now I'm going to use a lot of these pieces of the, this is when I like to get rid of these pieces. What do you guys think? Should I, I think I want to put it in the center. So don't forget, there's only, how many days left? What did I tell you guys? All right, so today is the 11th. My card class to go in this code runs out on the 15th. So if you want the card class to go, oh, let me put a little one here. Kind of overkill, but that's okay. All right. And I'm looking to see who's still here. I don't know. I know Sharon and Kathleen, you're on my team. You know you don't have to shop with me. I want you to shop with yourself so that you can get your discount. So you shop with yourself, but you can buy my card class to go, I give it to my team as a discount, at a discount. Usually I charge $25 for it if you're not placing an order. And then it costs shipping. So you can buy a kit if you're on my team. All right, so I'm going to center that. Let me get it a little straighter before I squish those down. There. I think that looks good. All right. And this, I think I'll put this up on dimensionals too. What did I do with the dimensionals? Put them away. Silly me. Yeah, I think I'm just going to put that little bow. So the card class to go is $25 regularly or free with an order. If you do it during my time frame and use my host code. And it costs $5 to ship, so $25 for my team. Total, $20 for the team, $25 with shipping. If you're already, oh, that's going to look pretty, right? What do you think? I think I'll put it off to the side. It's still a little damp, look. See? So let me let that dry a bit more. I think I'll just go and put an inside piece. I don't know about you guys, but when I get a full pack of white, I cut it all down to a whole package because I do these card classes, right? You might not need to. It would probably last you forever, but I cut a whole package down to 4 by 5 1/4. All right, so I think I'm going to put the bow off to the side, but we can put some of these rhinestones on it. I'll use the tiny ones this time, and I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. What color should I use? Should I do the green again, or do you think the pink? Because I kind of like it. I kind of like this. Usually I don't like plain space, but I think I like it on this one. So I think I'm going to put the pink ones, and I'll put them like in spots where they will show up. Will that one show up? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, just 3 of them. And then, is this dry yet? It's still a little damp. But, what did I do with that? I know I cut a glue dot in half. I probably tossed it in the barrel. So I'll cut another one. I'll take this half off. I'm going to put it, let's see, which side is the good side, which is the bad side. I think this is it's not a bad side, but one looks better than the other. All right, and I put half a glue dot on, and I'm going to put it off to the side, just like that. I kind of don't want it to hit the U, the Y-O-U. So I'm putting it on the very edge like that. I think that looks cute. And I will trim those. There. I like that. All right. That's it. Let me get rid of this one. What do you guys think? All right. That is it for the card class. Card class to go. No. That is it for today's Casing the Catalog. We started out, this was just about almost a complete case. I added a bow because they just did more of these floral pieces, right? So I added a bow and just did 3 with the rhinestones, and see, you can't see that the glue kind of came out of the sides of the rhinestones. Looks perfect. And then let's see what I did. This one, which was a little bit, these 2 here, I kind of got the idea from this, but they used the stamp in the background, but I wanted to use the designer paper. I just thought that was pretty. So, what do you guys think? So this, like I said, this is a part of that sale that's going on, and so you want to, if you like this all squared up stamp set, then you should check it out, because you might want to, let me see if I put this like that. You might want to check it out and get it before the end of March, or they are only while supplies last. And I'm trying to look. So that is the, that's on the savings That's in the Savings Are in Bloom special. Right here, it's $40 for the set. For the it's usually $50. You're getting $10 off because it's 20% sale. So all these bundles are on sale for 20% off. You can see them all here. These two, like I said at the beginning, those two are currently unavailable. And so there's 13 of them. 2 right now unavailable. And also, don't forget the mini cut and emboss machine, $48. If you're a demo, you get it for $48 plus your demo discount, so it's either 20% or 25% depending on your level. So you're really getting it. Oh my goodness, you're getting a lot off. So you might want to consider that. I am off to get a couple of, at least one more for my classes. I might get 2 more just so that I have them in class, so that if I have people cutting things, die cutting themselves, I'll have enough to go around the room. All right, folks, that's it for today's video. I hope you have a great weekend, and please go ahead and like my Donna's Creative Space page, and if you please share it with your friends if you like this, and also if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to build my subscriber list, and it seems like I get 1 or 2 people every video I make, so I'm getting there. But so take care, folks. Don't forget, you have a couple more days on my free card class to go kit, and I hope you try these cards at home. If you have any questions, you can email me at Donna. Here, I'll show you. There's my contact right there, Donna Singleton 33@yahoo.com. Okay, folks, take care. Have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.